Hi everybody. I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these video blogs, but I got so many requests to complete the build of the Stevens Aeromodel Diddlerod that I really couldn't hold it off much longer. I do have one confession to make though. The model's actually been flying for the last 10 months. I just couldn't put off building it any longer, but here it is. I'm actually going to reverse engineer it a little bit and show the radio installation and the covering material on the wings so that you get a better idea of what's actually involved in the construction. Here's the model as it stands today, pretty much exactly as we finished it back in January. We'll go over a list of the materials that you're going to need and the radio equipment, and then we'll actually get into the build. So, you need some covering material. Not very much, because after all you're only covering the tops of the wings. A lithium polymer battery. Now this is a 2-cell 450, which is actually a little bit bigger than the Stevens Aeromodel recommends for this size. But for the little bit of extra weight, you get to fly that much longer. You have my trusty GWS IPS motor and gearbox with the propeller. I tried using a larger propeller, but the larger propeller has some adverse effects when it comes to torque and P factor, so probably best to use a smaller propeller. A very small and very inexpensive GWS 4P receiver, as well as 2 Bluebird sub-micro servos. The last thing that you're going to need is a speed control. Now, there really can be any speed control. It doesn't have to be particularly powerful, just really enough to run the actual IPSC motor unit. Let's get to building. As you can see, we're finished. We've got the servos and the control surfaces all connected together. We've got the radio equipment installed, we've got the battery installed, and we've also got the speed control and the motor installed as well. So the plane's pretty much ready to fly. You'll see how well it flies in part 3. Thanks.